How do you get started investing in real estate? Rick Casady, Realtor at Baird Barrington. Thanks for joining me today. And today I'm going to be talking about how do you get started investing in real estate. Here's my top ways to get started in real estate investing. Number 7, fix and flips. Fix and flip is where you buy a piece of property, you make improvements to it, and then you sell it to somebody else for more money. It's going to require a lot of effort, a lot of time, and a lot of money. But if you have those things, it can be very rewarding. Now, some people say you can do it for a little bit of time or a little bit of money, but in those cases, you have to find really great deals or really great financing. In general, it's going to require a lot of money and take a lot of time. If you do the work yourself, it's going to take even more time, but you'll save a little money. Number 6 is going to be short-term rentals. Now, this will take a lot of time on the front end. You're going to have to locate the deal, ensure that they're going to allow short-term rentals in the future, make sure the municipality allows that. And then you're going to have to set it up. You're going to have to buy a ton of furniture, potentially assemble it, and then you're going to have to move it all in and get it placed. There's also time on the back end spent managing, and you'll hear a lot of people on TikTok saying, oh, I only spend 7 seconds every 2 years or whatever it is. But you do need to manage it, and that can be time consuming, especially if you haven't put in proper systems. And depending on whether or not you were doing the work yourself, if you hire a cleaner, obviously it's going to take less time than if you clean it yourself. Number 5 is long-term rentals. These are a little bit less effort and a little bit less time and money than a short-term rental. With a short-term rental, there's a lot of upfront costs with the furniture, and long-term rentals, you're not going to have that. Also, typically, you're probably not buying as nice of a house with a long-term rental, although your mileage can vary depending on what you're going for. And you're not going to make as much money as a short-term rental, but it's going to be a little bit safer, especially if you're bringing in families and people with double incomes. So your income is less, but it is a little more steady. Number 4, house hacking. Now, if you don't own a home, you're going to have to go out, find a home, buy it, finance it, and then you're going to need to move in a tenant, right? Maybe you can move in a friend or a family member, and they're essentially going to be paying part of the mortgage for you. And if you already own a home, most of the work is done. This is the easiest one on the list if you already own a home. Just move in a tenant, and all of a sudden you're making money. Number 3 is wholesaling, but I wouldn't do it if I were you. If you want to do it, but otherwise don't do it. Just avoid it. Number two, crowdfunding. Now, this is something that I've done a lot of. I think there's a lot of opportunity here, but at the same time, I really wouldn't recommend it to anybody unless they have very minimal amount of money to invest. You can get started with crowdfunding for very small amounts of money, and you can start making a return right away. So if you're living check to check, this is a great way to do it. You're not going to be able to get that down payment to buy a house, but you can somehow manage to save $25 and put it into a crowdfunding site and start earning money right away. It's such a minimal amount of effort and time. Number 1 is going to be REITs. Real estate investment trusts are a great way to get started in real estate investing. It's basically a security sold on the stock market, and its primary job is to own real estate for you. It's going to deliver cash flow in the form of income, dividend income. So you're going to get that regularly quarterly dividend. You're going to get that cash flow. You can choose to reinvest it. You can get started for bare minimum amounts. You can buy fractional shares of investments. So you can go on Robinhood or M1 Finance, and you can basically invest $25 today. So if you're living check to check, once again, you get started very cheap. And you can see that income coming in soon. Chances are, if you already know how to invest in stocks, the effort's going to be minimal because now you're just researching different REITs versus different stocks. Okay, that wraps it up for our 7 ways to get started investing. If you know any other ways, go ahead and drop them in the comments. I'm sure everybody'd love to see them. And thanks for making it to the end.